Okay, so the topic for the day is the natural language processing, and it is popularly known as NLP, natural language processing. So, in the last session, we have discussed everything about unsupervised machine learning, two important major algorithms under it. First one is the K means clustering, and other one is agglomerative hierarchical clustering algorithm. Now, both the algorithms were generating this similar result, and they used to form or the clusters that whatever we have obtained. So nearly we have five number of clusters for whatever data set we have used in the last practical. Now we have understood the basics of machine learning, supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. What is supervised machine learning and what is the unsupervised machine learning? The differences are now very much clear. So now this is natural language processing, which is the branch of artificial intelligence, and it is mainly dealing with understanding the human languages. Now, when I talk about human languages, that means I'm talking about English, Hindi, Marathi, and so many languages, natural languages we speak, and such languages, understanding of such languages by the computer. That is what we are going to study, and we are going to develop some algorithms. Also we are going to solve some problem statement, some projects we are going to implement using this technique, natural language processing. So at the beginning, when we started learning the Python programming or this AI ML techniques, at the beginning when we discussed about the programming, at that time, I have told you that the English language is not suitable for computer programming. Now, why it is not suitable? Because the every statement will not have a single meaning. So it's very difficult for computer to understand the meaning from the statements, meaning from the instructions that we are giving to computer. So that's the biggest problem and biggest challenge. Still, this particular discipline of artificial intelligence is under development. Lots of things are happening, and in future the computers will be able to understand the natural languages. So it's the technology used to aid the computers to understand the human's natural language, and of course it's not the easy task. So main ultimate objective of the NLP is to read, decipher, understand, and make the sense of human languages. Okay, so the first of all, the computer will have to read the human languages. It can be English, Hindi, or any other language. Then it will have to understand the meaning from that whatever text is there, and according to the computer will have to generate some sort of response. So it's all about human computer interaction in the natural language nowadays. Up till now, whatever programs we have written, they were mainly targeted by using some programming languages, or whatever instructions we have given, Python programming language we have used, and that instructions which are written in the Pythonic way or in the Python programming, now that can be the computer can understand all such instructions. But what if I write some instructions in English language? Will the computer understand? Definitely not, because it understands the mathematical programming languages. But the main intention of development of this natural language processing system or this particular technology or discipline is to that the computer has to understand the natural languages that human beings are using in their day-to-day life. Now it can be Hindi, Marathi, or English. So I will speak to computer in English, and the computer will understand what I am speaking, and based on that the computer will generate some response. Now you must have heard about the Sophia robot, which is the humanoid robot, and the few years ago the Saudi Arabia has granted the citizenship to that robot. So now that robot is officially a citizen of that country. So this will happen if we are talking about the natural language processing systems, or if we develop the natural language understanding units using the Python programming or some algorithms used in the Python. So that's what we are going to study in the today's session. We are going to understand how the computer will understand the natural languages, how the computer going to interpret what we are talking, and based on that we will be developing some algorithms. We'll be designing some projects also, so that the computer will understand the natural language. And what can be the application? Number of applications can be there. It can be a automatic filtering of emails, which is the spam email, which is not the spam, and so many things. It can be a voice recognition based systems, it can be a chatbot. So we'll understand all those applications shortly. So this is basically the architecture of the system, where we're having the NLP as the center, and you can see here the artificial intelligence, human languages, and computer science, all these disciplines are contributing for natural language processing. So it's the having the combination of AI, ML, and human languages plus the computer science skills, so that the computer will understand the natural languages. Now, how human machine interaction happens? Number one thing is that the human will talk to the machine either in audio format, he will speak, or we will type something, it will be a textual information. Then the machine will have to capture the audio if I'm talking in terms of audio, then the computer or that audio to text conversion has to be there. So here, wherever we are converting audio to text, so here again we need to understand the speech recognition is happening over here, whatever we are speaking. So some speech recognition algorithms will be playing role over here. After that, processing that text data, once we are having a text data, the computer will have a text data. After getting that text data, computer will have to extract the meaning what I am speaking, and from that meaning the computer will have to convert its response into let's say it will be response will be in audio format. Okay, then the computer will generate some textual response, and that response finally converted to audio, and audio file can be played. So this is how we will interact with the humanoid robot or any computer. So we will ask in audio format or in speech format, and again the computer will respond back into speech format. So what is happening in between? The computer is understanding, extracting the meaning whatever I'm speaking, and based on that the computer is generating some response. Now this is very much powerful technique, very much powerful technology that we are talking about. If the computer or a machine or a robot, if he or it can understand the human's language, natural language, then definitely, as that of Sophia got the citizenship, many humanoid robot may get the citizenship, because the due to this technology, the artificial intelligence and machine learning, plus this natural language processing, now the computer can understand the natural languages. They can learn from the past experiences. They can feel the emotions and everything. So in that case, the we can socialize the computers or the machines or the robot. Now, why it is difficult? Why NLP is so much difficult? Now, consider again, we will see the same statement that we have seen at the beginning only. I saw a boy on a hill with a telescope. So here, the if we try to extract the meaning from this statement, we will find there can be multiple meanings. Now, number one meaning can be I am having a telescope and boy is on the hill, and the boy is having the telescope and I am watching him. So there can be two possibilities, or even multiple possibilities can be there. So it needs complex analysis and the context in which I'm talking, so that I can extract the meaning from this statement. As far as the human beings are concerned, as we people are concerned, we are very much familiar with this thing. So we can easily understand the meaning from the statement if somebody is speaking, by noting the expressions and the context in which that particular person is speaking. So our brain is very much powerful, some sort of supercomputer. It can understand the meaning from this statement very easily. So that's the power of human brain, and same thing we are trying to implement in the machine using natural language processing technique. And there are two major techniques and major aspects we can consider that are generally discussed under the NLP. So, first of all, the machine will have to understand the syntax, and number two, the machine will have to understand the semantics of it. Now, as far as the syntax is concerned, it's all about the grammar. So the computer or the NLP algorithm will have to understand the grammatical rules, and the grammar of that natural language. And once the computer understands the grammar, then the semantics part is there. And after that, this part is all about extracting the meaning from the natural language that we are speaking. So the meaning which is conveyed by the text, that the computer will have to understand. So by using this grammatical understanding plus this semantics understanding, the computer will understand what you are speaking, or any machine will understand what you are speaking, and based on that it will respond in maybe in speech format or maybe in some different format. So for that, text to speech and speech to text conversion may happen, and based on that the computer is going to generate some response. Now based on that, there are two important components of the natural language processing. So first one is natural language understanding, and the number two is natural language generation. Now these two are different components, and these are two branches of this NLP. Now first of all, the computer will have to understand the natural languages, and the second one is computer will have to generate response in the natural language. Now, when I say natural language understanding, so natural language understanding helps the machine to understand and analyze the human language by extracting the metadata from the content, such as concepts, entities, keywords, emotion, relations, and semantic roles. So it will understand the meaning of the statements, whatever data or whatever the human is speaking. So the main application of this is, or the main intention of natural language understanding is to understand the meaning from the human statement, what human is speaking. And it's actually used in business applications to understand the customer's problem in both spoken and written language. For example, if you consider a chatbot, now many websites nowadays are using chatbots, using, or even many service providers are nowadays using chatbot. For example, the uh, telecommunication operators like Idea, Airtel, Vodafone, they are now using chatbots. Now the main objective is to understand what the customer is speaking, and the customer may speak in terms of some return statements, or may input the speech, and based on that the computer will have to understand the meaning. And that's the objective of natural language understanding. As name suggests, natural language understanding, it's all about understanding the meaning of human's statement or whatever human is speaking. And here the input will be either in the text format, or it can be in the voice format. The human can speak in the voice, or it can be a textual input as well. And that's how you must have seen some things or some applications where the user puts the symptoms and the system predicts disease. Even the government app is also there, where the user will be asked so many questions, and by answering those questions computer will understand, or that app will understand what kind of disease, whether it is COVID related symptoms or non COVID related symptoms, that the computer will understand. Even the sentiment analysis can happen. If you consider a Twitter or social media, for a particular trend or for a particular hashtag that is trending on Twitter or on the social media platforms, so whatever number of posts, tweets are happening for that hashtag or considering that keyword, we can estimate the sentiment, whether it is positive, people are talking positively about that, or whether the people are talking negatively about that. So that we can extract using this natural language understanding and using this NLP algorithms. Natural language generation is the second aspect, or the second important component of the natural language processing. So natural language understanding is all about understanding the human's language, whatever human is speaking, whatever we are speaking. That is all about the understanding by the computer. And when I say natural language generation, it's all about generating the response. Now, the computer will have its data. Now, the computer will generate some data. And from that data, computer will have to represent. It will have to form a grammar of English. Let's say if the computer is going to respond in English, then computer will have to understand the grammar. So whatever response that computer is going to generate, that has to be grammatically correct. So the computer job or the natural language generation, that means the computer will have to generate the response, and it has to be grammatically correct, and also it must be having some meaning. So the computer will have to plan the complete text or the paragraph. It will have to plan some sentences. So this is the application of, or the main aspect or the main component of natural language generation. So as far as the natural language understanding is concerned, it's all about understanding what human is speaking. And a natural language generation, that means the computer has to generate natural language, because computer's language is not English, it's not Hindi, not Marathi. The computer understand the machine level language, that's the binary language or voltage and current. So whatever data the computer is having, from that data, computer will have to generate a natural language representation for that data, and that will be given to human beings, and the human being can understand the natural language, because we understand natural language. So the computer will have to generate a response in a natural language. Now, what can be the applications of NLP or the natural language processing? Number one is this question answering kind of thing. And this you have seen in so many cases. We all are taking advantage of this technology, and we all are using this, maybe in the form of OK Google, or maybe the Apple Siri or Amazon's Alexa. We are using these things, and these search products are basically based on the natural language processing. Now here again, the entire process or the natural language understanding and the natural language generation is happening. First of all, we are speaking in the natural language, maybe in the English or Hindi, and the Alexa is understanding the meaning from the statement whatever we are speaking. Based on that, the some sort of processing is happening, and the Alexa is generating the natural language response. Okay, so whatever data the computer will get, from that it will be generating response in terms of some natural language, maybe in Hindi or in English. So this is how the questioning and answering system works. And this, see, we are using even the OK Google, we are using the Apple Siri, we are using even the Alexa, we are using, and so many such tools nowadays are very much popular and we are using. So we, at the after learning these techniques, after learning the natural language processing, you will be able to design such kind of products, your own such kind of product. The application can be anything. It can be for healthcare system, it can be for the college, it can be for your personal use, it can be for your office. So you will be able to develop small robot or a bot which can understand the language, and based on that it will generate some responses. Second one is the spam detection. It's just a simple example, but there can be so many examples where the we every day we are getting so many emails, and out of that our Gmail automatically classifies them which are the spam and which are not spam, and automatically Gmail puts them into a spam folder. So here the Gmail basically reading the content from the incoming input email, and it is classifying that whether it is a spam email or whether it is not spam email. It based on some NLP algorithms, and it is extracting the meaning from that. So if it has to be done manually, if it has to be done manually. So what we'll do, we will understand, we'll read that email, and automatically we'll understand that this is the spam email. So we'll put in a spam email, or we'll delete that email. That process is Gmail and other mailing services are actually doing. So they are filtering your emails which are spam, which are not spam, based on the content that mail is having. Not only the content, but other features can be who is sending that email and how frequently you are getting mails from that user. Based on that, it can be spam or not spam. Another application can be sentiment analysis, opinion mining, and this is generally used to understand sentiment about some product. For example, if a car company launches their new car, and what people are thinking about that car, uh, how they are speaking about that car, whether the people are thinking positively about it, whether people are thinking negatively about that particular product, that can be uh, analyzed by using the sentiment analysis. What's the sentiment of it? Secondly, in case of elections that are happening in countries. So here, before actually declaring the result, number of surveys come into the market, and they claim that this particular party is going to win by this much margin. How this is happening? They are actually doing this kind of sentiment analysis, how people are thinking about particular leader, and what is the opinion of people about this leader or about this party, and how much percentage of people are speaking positively about this particular political party. So that is analyzed by using the sentiment analysis. And how it is done: so for example, on a Facebook, everybody is posting about Narendra Modi, and sometimes in our post, if you are using Narendra Modi word or similar words to that represents the Prime Minister of India, so the sentiment analysis algorithm will fetch all such posts from the Facebook, maybe from Twitter or from the Instagram, and that will understand the sentiment of each and every post. For example, if I'm posting 10 posts on the Facebook regarding the Narendra Modi, so the sentiment analyst will read my 10 posts along with other people's posts, and it will understand the meaning from it, and it will understand whether it is positive, whether I'm speaking negative about Narendra Modi, or whether I'm speaking positive about Narendra Modi. And based on that, they can calculate the popularity of Narendra Modi and whether people are happy with the current prime minister or not. That can be calculated by using the sentiment analysis. And the sentiment analysis will also help to check the depression level or some mental disorders by reading the post. If I have to detect the depression of particular person, so what I will do, I will be reading all the post, all the posts that particular person is doing on the social media. So I will be reading all the post, and after reading all such post, I will understand whether this particular person is speaking positively or if he is speaking negatively. And based on that, I will understand the sentiment of that particular person, and whether he is happy or whether he is in depression. That can be analyzed, and according to that, we can do some further things, like we can motivate them, or the our algorithm can automatically send some motivational videos or motivational video links, so that we will understand, or so that we can motivate that particular person, so that uh, he will get rid of this depression. Another application can be the machine translation. Okay, so this is the another application. Okay, I think something has went wrong. I think there was the problem with the connection. Okay, I think there was some problem. So this is the machine translation. That is another. So Google translation we have seen. So there, whatever you will type, that will be translated in some another language. That is again the application of the machine learning. Another could be spelling correction. So whenever you type in word, PowerPoint, it will automatically check the spelling, grammar, and according to that, it will make some suggestions to you. So that is another application. Speech recognition, that is another application. So here, whatever you will speak, that will be understand by the machine, and according to it will generate some response. So you can dictate the machine by using some speech commands. Chatbot, it's one of the very much powerful and popular application of this technology. So here we implement chatbots for particular business need, and it can be for college website, it can be for the personal application. So where you will put some queries and that will be responding. So many service providers nowadays are using the chatbots services for their business queries, because in that case the number of customer care executives which are required could be reduced by the chatbot. So the chatbot will act as the customer support executive. Okay, so these are the several applications where the this kind of technology can be used. Now, next one is the how to build the NLP pipeline, or what can be the steps that we need to follow in order to develop the NLP based application. It may be a chatbot system, it may be a automatic grammar correction, it may be a email spam detection, or maybe n number of applications we can do with this particular technology. We can develop even the smart robots which will understand the human languages and will generate responses. So the first statement is the sentence segmentation. So whatever input the computer will get, that will be a paragraph, or if I'm speaking something, that will be a some sort of lengthy paragraph having the multiple sentences. Now, step number one is to find out the sentences from the incoming data or incoming paragraph. So consider this is the paragraph, which is the Independence Day is one of the important festival, and so and so. So here the job first step is to find out the number of sentences. Now this is the number one sentence. Independence Day is one of the important festival for every Indian citizen. Now this is another statement and this is another sentence. So that is our first step. We will extract sentences from the paragraph. And number two step, word tokenization. So here we are extracting the or we are tokenizing the entire sentences into small words or tokens. Now whatever statements we are having, whatever paragraphs we are having, we'll be cutting them into some small words. Now first of all, paragraph will be extracted in some statements, and after that it will be converted to some sentences and some words. That's what we are doing. Now stemming is the next process. That's the one of the important step. Now in your statement, whatever you are speaking, there can be a word which is having number of forms. For example, the intelligence word is there in a paragraph, for example, but it is having different form. The first of all, intelligence is there, intelligent, and intelligently. So one word is there for three times, but it is having different forms. So stemming, what stemming is doing, stemming is actually converting all such words to a root form. Considering all these words are three different words, it will be converting all these three words to one single word. For example, as we are having here intelligence, intelligent, and intelligently. These are three words. तो ये तीन शब्द हैं which will be converted to one root form. Now one root form क्या होगा उसका? Intelligent. That will be a root form for this particular, or stem means root. That will be converted. But the problem with this is, now whatever word it has generated, that intelligent, is not having any meaning in English language, but still it has converted to its stem form. So that is nothing but stemming operation. That will be our next step. So first of all, we are having the paragraph. Now paragraph will be converted to sentences. Now the sentences will be converted to word list, and after that whatever words we are having, will be converting all such words to its root form. Now if the intelligence is there, that will be converted to intelligent. Intelligent is there, again it will be converted to intelligent, and intelligently is there, it will again be converted to intelligent only. So we'll be getting one single word for all the possible appearance of, or all the possible forms for a single word. Next step is lemmatization. So it can be used against the stemming operation. So lemmatization is the process which is quite similar to the stemming operation, but only thing is that it will convert the word into root form, but with some meaning. For example, in the previous case, intelligence, intelligent, and intelligently, these three words which were converted to intelligent, which is not having any meaning, now it will be converted to intelligent. So here the meaning is there, and this particular process, this lemmatization, will be producing the meaningful output as compared to the stemming process. So stemming and lemmatization, these two processes are there, but we can go with the lemmatization as it generates the meaningful word. So it actually tries to find the meaning for that word, and according to that it will be doing. But the stemming and lemmatization both are doing quite similar job. Then identifying the stop words, that is very important. Now once you are having the paragraph, second step is to convert them into sentences. Next step is to make a word list, and the next important step is to cut down or to find the root form of each and every word, that is the stemming process or the lemmatization process. And the next important step is to identifying the stop words. Now stop words are such words who doesn't carry significant meaning. For example, in English language there can be some words which doesn't carry any significant meaning. For example, is, and, the, these are some words which don't carry significant meaning. Of course, they are having some meaning in terms of the processing, or in terms of the paragraph, or in order to extract the meaning from the statement. Definitely, they carry some meaning, but generally their meaning is not significant. Okay. For example, consider this following statement: He is a good boy. Now here the good is important because it represents the property. Boy is important. He is important. But is and these two words are not important. So we need to identify such stop words which are not carrying significant meaning, or important. They are not so important. So we'll eliminate all such words. So that's the next step, identifying the stop word. So step number one, we are having the input as a paragraph. We will convert that paragraph into sentences. Step number two, we will convert that sentences into words. Step number three, we will make all the words to its root form, that means to its original form, by using stemming and lemmatization. So there, for example, happy and happily, these two words can be converted to happy only, so that we'll be having a single word for all the possible forms of the same word. Now next step is identifying the stop words. So where these are the words which are not having significant meaning in English language, that are nothing but the stop words. So we'll find out all such words and we will remove such words from our paragraph. Now, next important thing is the operation is dependency parsing. So here we are going to, or it is used to find that how all the words in the sentence are related to each other. So relationship between the, or the dependency between the other words, or between the words, that is nothing but the dependency parsing. POS tagging, or this is generally called as parts of speech, now which includes nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjective. These are the parts of speech. So basically, it's going to tag which is the adverb, which is the adjective. Such kind of things are going to happen. Now, this can be, or it depends on the context, basically, which word is adjective, or which is the noun, or which is the verb. For example, if you consider this statement, Google something on the internet. So here, Google seems to be a noun, but in this particular statement, it is the verb, that Google something on internet. That means we are asking to Google or to search something on the internet. So this word Google, which seems to be a noun, but it is now used as a verb if we understand the context of this particular statement. So that tagging is nothing but the POS tagging. The next step is named entity recognition. Now, in our speech, sometimes we use a name of a particular person, sometimes we use name of particular organization or the location. So that entities are tagged, or that will be recognized by using this process, named entity recognition. So we'll find out which are the named entities. Let's say the name of person. Let's say Steve Jobs introduced new iPhone. So here the stew job is the named entity. So understanding that is nothing but this named entity recognition part of the NLP. And finally, chunking. Now, chunking is used to collect the individual piece of information, and that will be grouped into the bigger pieces of the sentences or the uh, information. Okay, so this is how the pipeline is built to understand the natural languages, how the humans are speaking, and we are going to understand each and every step in detail with the help of some Python implementation. So we'll be doing the Python implementation for this, and using the Python, we are going to understand what exactly we are talking and how to build this particular thing. Now, in order to process or in order to do some coding, I'll be using this text. Now, this is a paragraph I'm having. This is I have three visions for India in 3000 years, and so and so. This is the speech of our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and this is the some paragraph from his speech. So we'll be processing this paragraph using our NLP algorithms. And first of all, in today's session, we'll be focusing on only on the tokenizing this paragraph into some sentences and also into some words. So that will be the objective for today's session. A small code we are going to see. Now let me open the Visual Studio Code in this folder. So CMD, and here I'll be giving command code. So it will be opening the Visual Studio Code ID in this folder. Now I'm having this thing. So I'm having this paragraph which says this things. Now I'll be creating new Python file, and I'll be giving, so let's say tokenize.py. That's the file name that I want to give. And let's say let's zoom in this area. Okay, so this is the important thing. That's what we are going to do over here. And the first step is to import the libraries. The very first step, that will be the importing the libraries. So here that will be a step number one that we are going to follow. So this will be importing the required packages as usual. And here one important package we need, that is import NLTK. Okay, that's the package. So you'll understand what is this package. So first of all, let me run this one so that we will be able to load this package. Yeah, it's fine. In my computer, it's there. No worries with this package. But if you are doing this for the first time, you will have to install the NLTK in your computer. And how you will install that? By using the pip install command. So pip install NLTK and hit enter. It will be downloading and installing the NLTK libraries in your Python environment. Now, what is NLTK? It is Natural Language Toolkit. Okay, NLTK stands for Natural Language Toolkit. So that's the step number one, that loading the libraries. And after that, we should have some paragraph. So we'll create a variable called paragraph, which is equals to, and I will simply copy this entire paragraph. So control A and C, and I'll be pasting over here. And as it is text, I should be, or I must give uh, triple quotes at the end, and of course triple quotes at the beginning, so that it will be a text. Okay, so this is how I have copied the entire paragraph in the Python environment. So this is the string type variable. Okay, this paragraph variable is a string variable which is used to copy, or which is now used to hold the entire paragraph that I'm talking about. And if you print, if you just want to verify whether it is the variable or the string variable, if you print this paragraph, you will get to know that the entire paragraph will be printed on the this terminal. So here you see the entire paragraph is now printed. Now let's clear this one. Now this is very interesting library. This is having a small functions, straightforward functions to deal with the paragraphs and convert paragraphs into the sentences. So now here we'll do one step. So this will be step number 2. So this will be tokenizing the sentences. So that means we are about to convert our paragraphs into list of sentences. So I'll create a variable called sentences equals to, and there is one small function inside this NLTK. So that will be NLTK dot sentence tokenize. That's it. And if you hit, you need to pass a text. Now our text is this paragraph. Okay, that's it. That's a very simple function. So it's very straightforward. By the name, it's very clear. So convert into sentences. And if you want to print the sentences, now you will be getting the interesting result from this thing. So if you print the sentences, you will be getting the sentences. Now let's run this. And something is wrong. Okay, I think there is some problem with the spelling. Is there any problem with the spelling? I think no worries with the spelling. Yeah, it's the sentences we are doing here, and it should be doing that. NLTK dot sent underscore tokenize. It has to be a function in the NLTK. So let's try one more time. NLTK, its spelling is correct. Dot. Let's find some functions. And the text we have to pass, that will be a paragraph. This entire paragraph, that's what we are passing. I think it has not loaded the library. Okay, so what we'll do, I think we should use this something, or we should use the download nltk.download, as we are doing this for the first time function. Okay, what happened? The nltk is having some problem in my case, I think. So let's try on the cmd. Okay, so here it's not having any issues. Yeah, so here it is not having any issues, but unfortunately it's creating some problem in the VS Code. Okay, so what I'll do, I will be opening. So unfortunately, this is creating some problem in VS Code. So I'll be opening in Python ideally. So there we'll try to discuss the things and we'll check whether it's working in the ideally. I think it's loaded or not loaded. Let's close this one. Even the ideally is also not responding. Okay. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do over here. So let's try to run over here and we'll check what's happening over here. Okay, yeah, now it's fine here. So it is having some problem with the VS Code, so I'll be fixing that later on. But here it's working fine. So now, if you see here, now this is the list of the sentences that we're getting. I have three visions for India. Then it's in the single inverted commas. Then sorry, a comma. That means is the list. And here also you can check it's the square bracket starting over here and ending over here. So I'm getting the list of sentences. So by using this simple command nltk.send tokenize the paragraph, it will be converting your paragraph into some sentences. And if you want to measure how many sentences are there in your paragraph, simply you can write one more statement: print the number of sentences equals to, and then length of the sentences you're having. So by using the length function, we'll be able to calculate the length of the sentences we are having. And let me comment this download wala because now it's not required. Okay, so let's run. So now here we can see the 31 number of sentences this paragraph is having, and all such sentences you can see over here, and total number of sentences are 31. So now this is one step, that is converting your paragraph into sentences. So now I'll be commenting this one, and of course the number of sentences, okay, it will be fine. And the now next step that we'll be doing, now this step is converting your sentences or your paragraph into words. So that's the step number 3. So this will be tokenizing the words, and we are going to find out the small words from our paragraph. So let's do that, and for that I'll be creating a variable called words, and which will be equal to nltk dot word underscore tokenize. So that will be a simple function, and of course the paragraph will be the input for it. And if you want to print, you can print the words. Now let's run. Now in the previous case we converted the paragraph into sentences, and there were 31 number of sentences. Now we have converted it into words. Now this I have three visions for India. Now every word is separate, and now we got the list of words. Okay, this is the complete list of words. Now next step is we will stop here, but at the end I will be calculating the length or the number of words, and I will be printing that. So I'll just copy this one here, the number of words, and this will be the length of words. So now in this case, I will be able to measure because this was the list of word that I got. So total number of sentences are 31, and total there are 399 words are there. Okay, so there are 399 words. So now we are moving in that direction of NLP. Now the step number one, we converted some words of the paragraph into some sentences, and in the second step we converted the that particular paragraph into some single words. Now we are trying to understand, now the further steps will be there. Now the further steps will be removing this, first of all, the lemmatization or stemming. So in case of lemmatization or stemming, what will happen, this visions will become vision. Okay, and so many even the lands will become land. These Greeks will become Greek. The and so many words, like you can see a number of words are there which will be which are in their different forms. So now that will be converted to in the, so this vision will be vision only, because this visions will become vision, and this vision will be there as it is vision. So that step will apply on this paragraph in next session, where we'll see these number of words which are having in this tried will become try, because it's the main form of that word. Okay, so similarly, each and every word which is there in this paragraph will be converted to its root form or the stem form. That is by using stemming. And the lemmatization is also going to do the same thing. So we'll either going to use the stemming or the lemmatization. So दोनों में से कोई तो एक use करेंगे, and we will convert that into some. If you want some meaningful word, then we'll use the lemmatization. If you want non-meaningful or any its root form, then we'll go with the stemming. Okay, and after that we'll find out the stop words. इसके अंदर stop words क्या क्या है? Let's say this have is not having any meaning, it's a stop word. For is the stop word. In is the stop word. Off is the stop word. Our is the stop word. So all such words which are not significant, which are not carrying significant amount of information, will be identified, and all such words will be removed, that will be discarded, so that the number of words will reduce. And after that we will find out the relationship between this, or the part of word speech tagging, whether which is the adverb, which is the verb, which is the adjective, which is the noun. Sometimes named entity recognition, which is the name. For example, this India is the named entity, it's the name. So that we will find it out. So all these techniques, that the pipeline which I was talking about, that pipeline will follow, and this is just the first step of that pipeline, converting paragraphs into words, small words. And after that we will tackle each and every word, and finally we'll get the desired outcome from it. We'll extract the meaning from this, and at the end of this learning NLP, we'll be doing one small project that will be identifying or the classifying the spam emails. So we'll classify the emails we are having, whether it is the spam email or not spam email. Okay, so that's the end for today's session, but we'll wait in the chat section, so that if you're having any queries and doubt, you will be asking in the chat session.